Good morning. It is so great to be here with you on this Friday morning. This is our first Month of More Friday Q&A call. And thanks for being here, Badra, Bhavani, Liliana, Chris, and there'll be more to come. Later this morning, we're going to be introducing you to someone that you already all know, and that is Terese Santos. And she's going to come in and we're going to answer questions with you together and really dig deep into what it is that you need to make your business super successful. Whether it be LifeWave or whether it be a coaching business, whatever your business is, business principles apply to all businesses. And it's really great to have you here. Okay, I'm seeing some people in the chat, so let me just have a look at what's going on. Two powerhouse women together, Marie-Helene, yes. Hello, everyone. Oh, that Bhavani and Marie-Helene, Bhavani. By the way, for people who don't know, you'll get confused when I say hi, Bhavani, and that's because Bhavani, is that the way I say it? is her spiritual name, and it's the name that I was introduced to her over 20 years ago, and it really suits you. Okay, so I guess we could start with some questions. One of the things that I wanted to do was just say to you how excited I was today because last night, I got my Alavita box in the mail. How many of you have ordered? Yeah, I always feel like when I get my Alavita box, I feel like it's Christmas because I'm getting inside my Alavita box the moisturizer, the day cream, the night cream, and the two 60 patches. So all of this like for $170. I mean, if you think about it, the moisturizers are costing you around $20 each. It's really the most incredible value to have amazing skin and to know that your telomeres are being lengthened as you sleep, because I wear mine during sleep, but you can wear it during the day, and that the body is now being activated to produce more collagen, which is why the skin improves. And everything in our body needs collagen. So, you know, Alavita is a pretty important little gift box there. So if you've got somebody that you know and love and you want to give them something for their birthday or Christmas, try Alavita gift box. It's fabulous. Okay, let's have a look at who else is here. You've been working, yeah, it's really good. Oh, Mother's Day, of course, it'd be a great Mother's Day gift. Yes, as my 2-year-old would say, oh no, so happy. All right, now, Chris, I know that you had 2 questions. Would you like to ask them for this group? Because remember, this is being recorded, and so other people will get the benefit of your questions.
Great. Yeah, good morning. It's only 7 o'clock over here, but beautiful. First question is, if I introduce people that are totally new and I want to give them some patches, what do you think, what's the best patch to give? The patches that people react to and they can say, oh yeah, I'm feeling that.
Okay, so obviously, X39 is not it. And I think that's why you're asking the question, right? Because, I mean, a lot of people do feel something with X39. And Chris, you and I both know somebody who can't even hardly wear them because they're too powerful for her, right?
Yeah.
And however, that's not the norm. The norm is that X39 is helping to activate the release of copper peptide, lengthening telomeres, regenerating stem cells, going to the part of the body that needs it the most first. So it won't necessarily work on a knee or a headache or whatever immediately. However, the go-to patch to give to anybody for immediate results is Eon. Now, I'm going to come with a caveat with this one, Chris. If you can give them the Eon patch and ask them to do something before they put it on. And this is what I have done in all of my live events, and I will start to do it in my live events again. By the way, I've actually done this on a Zoom call, Chris, not sure if you were on it or not, but what I do is as I'm doing my work in healing by the speed of thought, and I'm doing a correction, I do the similar thing by Healings by the Speed of Thought. And I say to somebody, before you put the patch on, think about something that is troubling you or that is challenging you in the moment, and score it 0 to 10. 10 being, I'm really upset about this, 0 being, I'm neutral. Okay. Ask them to do that before they put their gift on.
Mm-hmm.
Then ask them to put the gift on and have some water and say to them, okay, now what is your number? Their number will have gone down every time. In most cases, they'll look at you or they'll go, okay, so I don't even feel that anymore. This is the power of the instant shift that Eon has. So for each one of you, if you do want to give a gift, and I suggest that if you give a gift, you send it to somebody, but you send it with those instructions written down. Please do not use this powerful gift until you have done this, all right? Because let's face it, I have given loads of gifts away. And Chris, I know your generous heart, you've given loads of gifts away too. And still people haven't signed up or haven't reacted or they don't feel a thing. But if you do it this way, people actually understand that something happened in a nanosecond, right? Just as long as it took them to decide what was troubling them, they put the patch on, have some water, and it's gone. And so does this make sense to everybody? It's really exciting. I did this on Chris, I think you might have been on it, on our last Platinum Life Manifest Your Abundant Reality call, a session. I actually patched Daniel up. But first of all, I asked everybody, 60 people who were in that session, to think about something that was upsetting them, to score the number. And then I had Daniel be a surrogate for the group, and they all had their number. They wrote it in the chat. And then I asked them, I put the Eon patch onto Daniel, asked them all to have a sip of water, and then I asked them to score themselves. And it was like the chat went crazy. People are going, oh, this can't be real. This is magic. This is not happening, because they all had new scores that were lower, right? So and I actually told David Schmidt about this, and he just laughed at me, because who would think to actually patch people up via the internet? But guess what? That is the power of energy and thought and high frequency. And that is what this is. It's really high frequency energy, thought, activation. And we can do anything we want, right? And if you don't try and you don't have fun with these patches, you'll never know what is possible. I'm just going to keep an eye out for Terese, because she's not here yet. It's okay. Any other questions? Chris, that's a great one to start with.
Yeah. So that's wonderful. I'm now even thinking I could patch people just over Zoom.
Yeah, you could. What you need to do is be very clear about the steps, and just tell them it's an experiment. Right? Just say, I don't know what you're going to feel. I want to have an experiment. Are you in for that? Right? Just ask them. Because if they don't feel anything, just say, okay, that was an experiment. But I think you'll find, I know a lot of people made a shift.
Yeah, we found that with DICKshire. We could transfer DICKshire over phone calls, over distances. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Didn't matter. Yeah. And even over recordings.
Oh, whatever it is, once it's down, Spirit loves technology, it's down, it's done. And what we do when we put our hands up like this after every meditation, that's what we're giving, right? We're actually, giving that energy. So, and we know that people are getting it because we get we get told that. Okay. Does anybody know how to make it so when the speaker is talking, the speaker gets to, I wanted you to be full screen. Let's have a look. Full screen and speaker. Chris, do you want to say something?
Well, the other question was if people just don't feel anything. I have a friend who has lots of pain in the body. And we used oil patches, Eon and X39, LifeWave, but his body doesn't react yet. Is there anything that's that we can say or do?
Yeah. How long has he been on the patches?
Well, that's just after 2 days.
Yeah, no. This is something that's really important, and it's really, really important. After 2 days, in a body that is in that much pain, it's not going to happen. I mean, they might get a tiny bit of relief, but not enough to know about yet. That could take 6 to 12 weeks. And I think you have to just say to people, listen, breathe, relax, and let this incredible technology work where it needs to work in the body, because in its innate intelligence, it will go to where it needs to go to. And a lot of the times it isn't where the pain is showing up, by the way. It could be somewhere else. So 2 days is not enough for somebody to get a reaction. That's why I said to you, use Eon first, because if they are emotionally disturbed by the pain, they're a 10. When you put Eon on them and they're no longer emotionally disturbed, the pain could still be there, but they've made a shift. At least they can see that something's happening, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know in the clinical studies with X39 that, in the clinical studies with X39 that it takes, I think, 7 weeks to activate brain function and change things. So let's have a look at, how's that, Chris?
Oh, you're just changing your view.
Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, our view we can change here.
Okay, all right. So hello, here's our very special VIP guest. She's arrived. And by the way, she does have a brilliant excuse because she was on a company call. And Terese is a part of the USA advisory board for LifeWave, which is such an incredible thing. And for all of the advances that you have made just in 2021, my beautiful sister, congratulations from all of us. You know, you're such a shining light to each and every one of us. And I certainly wouldn't even be in LifeWave if it wasn't for you. And then all of the people that I have introduced and shared LifeWave with, just think, they get the added bonus of you. That's pretty fantastic. So Terese, I don't know how to make you a co-host and how to make me do whatever I'm doing. So would you just love to, you know, say hi and be here with me so that we can both answer questions?
Absolutely. Well, hello, everyone. It's so good to be here. And if you had a chance to join us Monday night on our team Zoom or watch the replay, then you know how incredibly excited I am for all of you. Many of you had some significant rank advances in the last 10 days. And of course, now do you realize you all make up the highest ranking team in this team next to me. So that's pretty exciting. So again, this is a time that Sandra has dedicated. I think we're every Friday. Are we every Friday or every other Friday?
Oh, every Friday this month.
Beautiful, beautiful. And it's our chance to just kind of come together and really love and support you, where you get to bring us your questions and about patches. Remember, we can't ever really diagnose, or business. And it's clearly informal. That's what we wanted to create here. But if I could jump in with just one thing and then we'll open up for questions. Since this was the first week of the month of More, and it's been Sandra's big message to encourage you all to really think about what kind of goals you want for yourself, right? The message is around goals, and, more abundance and health and prosperity, but that all starts with goals. Well, think about it. The word goal itself, if we were to break this down, 4 little letters with such power. But let me just separate the word goal in half. So goal, you got G-O. You also have A-L. What if you looked at it as it really means go all in?
Whoa, I love that.
Right?
How many of you
all
love that? Are we all in? Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, you can also look at GO as inviting God in as well. You know, I absolutely believe, as I believe everyone, you would not be a part of a Sandra Biskin community if you were not higher frequency beings or desiring to raise your frequency, but for sure your spiritual love-based beings. And so think about the word goal rather differently. All right.
That's great. Okay, let's open this up. This is your forum. So,
Mhm.
so remember that this morning is for you. Chris has already asked some fabulous questions. Yes, Lorraine, is that Lorraine? I can hardly see your face, sweetheart. Just a hand and a bit of face. Yes, there you go.
And then when you want to ask, because it's like Sandra said, this is your time with us.
Liana.
So unmute. Sandra, this is being recorded, so she'll share this later on because we know we've got people all over the world in this community. And so we just want to make sure that we have a really nice, you know, informal, but not that informal.
Liliana, yes, please unmute yourself, sweetheart.
Yes, I did. The question is there a reason why you can't reuse the patch? Like I use the new patch every day, but I use the old ones that I have for 12 hours and then 12 hours on. I put it in the places. I have too many places where I need to put them and not as much money, unfortunately. But anyway, so can I use them again, or is there a reason why I can't?
I've got a good answer for that, but Terese, I'd love you to answer that one first.
Well, I was thinking the same thing. Why don't you respond? Because this is also your chance to go ahead and, I mean, you are the leader of this team. And then I'll back up with anything that you might not have mentioned.
Fantastic. So there's two things going on here, Liliana. One is when I've listened to David speak about the patches, he's very emphatic that they are active for 12 hours. And so they are active in activating the response in your body for 12 hours, and then you're to discard them. He's been very, very clear about that. I have also seen on other websites of people who've been dealing with these patches for 15 years that they recommend 24 hours. So so what I'm thinking is that because these are older websites and they haven't really kept up with exactly what the scientist and the founder is saying, that they're suggesting that. I would suggest that you have a lot of faith in the power of your 12-hour activation and know that 12 is enough. I mean, sometimes I'm on for 13 because I've forgotten to take it off, or I'm on for 10 because I want to swap over to my night ones, whatever. But I would say that please discard them after 12 hours. And it's not about money. It's about you having faith that that patch has done its job. What's going to happen is you will be activated for 12 hours. The body will then assimilate that activation for the next 12 hours before you start to activate it again. And this is a beautiful thing. This is like if you take too much of a drug, then you become overloaded, addicted, whatever. Not that you could possibly be. Well, I am very addicted to the patches, but yeah. So. Terese, want to add anything to that?
Yeah, well, for sure. Again, Liliana, it's a very natural, normal question to be asking. And yes. Any of these websites out there that are talking and promoting about reusing patches, 24 hours this, 36, that's nonsense. It really is. In fact, I'm very connected to the source, in this case, the inventor, the scientist, and he has a couple reasons. First of all, there's a scientific name for when the body is constantly triggered, right? Or constantly stimulated. And I'll get that name and I'll share that in the group and I'll put a post in there so you can read about the science. Deal? But there is two big reasons just that we can bring to you right now. The body needs an on-off cycle Okay, and so and a really good way to do this is select the patches you want to wear during the day. So you have your day patches, and then take those off, and then use your, your preferred evening patches, and then just keep that easy, day, night cycle going. So that's the body needs the on-off cycle, one to activate, one to regenerate, or in this case, one to activate and one to activate self-healing for whatever it is. Now, the other reason is that what's in the crystals is, even though it's proprietary, we do know there are natural compounds in the patches that will break down after, remember, they're activated by our body's own human energy, which is our body's infrared heat. So those patches actually do have a shelf life once they're on our body and they're activated by our body heat. Those crystals inside the patch actually break down after about 12 hours on. So there's two big reasons: the body's own healing cycle and the fact that the organic matter in the patches actually dissipates after that time. The only exception would be is that if somebody happens to be, for whatever reason, maybe detoxing a little too fast, and in this case, maybe they only want to use the glutathione patch or an X39 half time. So what I would do is, we all know the patches have a backing, so you could just remove half the back, use it, and even save that backing if you wanted to. And then, maybe even use a timer on your phone as if you're going to leave it on 4 hours or 6 hours, remove it, put the back on, and then in that case, the next day. So in the case where you are deliberately and consciously choosing a shorter, what we call patch therapy time, then you could save the backing. Does that help everybody?
Yeah, that's fabulous. The other thing is, I was just saying to Chris before you came on that we have friends who are super sensitive to the patches, and so being able to take them off, put the back on, and then put them back on again is a really big deal for them. When I first patched up my daughter, I put one X39 on her, and within half an hour she was in the toilet vomiting, and it was like, oh, this is like instant detox, right? Instant going on. That was just one X39. So I think, again, she took it off straight away, and with that knowledge, what I could have done was put the backing back on it and, tried her again the next day or whatever with it. But that's great to know.
You're welcome. And do use the timer, because really, understand there's organic matter in here. And after it's been exposed and activated to the warmth of our body heat, it breaks down, it dissipates. Mm-hmm. So it makes zero sense that it could be used multiple days. Okay, there might be a slight charge left, but you're not going to get full capacity of the patches. You want to know a little fun secret?
We all do.
How many of you have a beautiful fur baby, a part of your family? Dog, cats, whatever. So because pets have a very different skin than we do, right? You can actually, this is so fun, if you really want to go ahead and feel better about the use of your patches and, really maybe expanding the use, once you take them off you, whether day or night for 12 hours, put them on your pet.
So you can
That's your pet.
Terese, the other thing about that is, and I was going to actually say this, that you don't have to wear them on your body for these patches to be activated. And it's your body heat. So when people, I'm just going to answer a question that I was asked. Yeah. which is perfectly coming on from this one, and that is, what do we do about people who become allergic or start to get a rash from the sticky part of the patch, right? And that goes to what Terese was talking about with your fur babies, that if you put them on the fur, you can rip the fur off. However, you can put them on the collar, so long as they're in the vicinity of the heat and light of the body, they are still activated. And so for people that you might, they might say to you, whoa, I've got a problem. Daniel, with his back, he just started to become allergic to the patch tape about a week ago. And he said, what am I going to do? Because he's wearing them for pain. And I said, it's easy. Give me your undies. And I just took his underwear and I put the patches on the underwear. And he wears them and it has exactly the same results. So this is super exciting for you to know. And then the next thing to know is that these patches are activated by your body heat. So do not carry them around in your pocket, even your handbag during the day. Like if you're going to travel with them, put them in your luggage so they go into the cold luggage holder. And Terese, I saw one of the prizes. Does LifeWave have a case that a travel case for the patches? And if not, can you suggest that they make one?
Yeah, there's some what we call swag in the future coming. I've got another council meeting this Tuesday. So there is some swag coming, but actually for the spring sprint, a recent promotion that the company had where you could earn points, they were giving swag. So that was one of the swag pieces. What I recommend, you know what I use? I mean, you can go to any of your TJ Maxx or Marshalls or anything in the area. And you don't have to have what I have, but like I have a Gucci zip bag, kind of like a pencil holder type of bag, but you can get a really nice black sleek bag, the size that might just, you can carry it with you. We're not out there doing all those in-person patches quite as often, patching that is quite as often as we used to, but just get a little holder. Men, there's some really handsome holders. Women, you can find in the accessory department. But let me just back up because I want to make sure that everybody understands what Sandra was speaking to as far as vicinity. And if there seems to be a rash-like, which it can often be misunderstood as an allergic reaction, indeed it's not. It's very, very rare that someone is allergic to the medical grade adhesive. What usually is showing up is a slight heat rash because we're using these patches on that same spot every single day. So it's not an allergic reaction 99% of the time, because these are medical grade, hypoallergenic, tested for skin allergies and sensitivity. So think about it. These patches are activated by body heat. If we're wearing it on the same spot all the time, it's just going to be a slight. So the remedy to that is, like Sandra said, it can go onto the clothing or just change the location slightly to give that spot an opportunity to just rest and heal a little bit. But it's just a slight heat rash. Now, as far as collars, make sure it's on the underside of the leather collar. Yes. So it's closest to, that precious pet. And things like eye masks. Anybody that has, would like to have maybe some better, healthier eyes, that we know glutathione is very, very, very powerful for eye health. I have a lot of people that will take, I believe in an eye mask anyway to, block out light. So you can actually put a glutathione patch on the, it doesn't even have to be in the underside. It can be on the outer side. Take a patch, stick it to the outer side of the eye mask. I recommend 2 if you want eyes to have equal love. Patch, put your patch, your highly healing glutathione charged eye mask on. Try that for 30 days and see if you don't notice maybe something special happening with eye health.
Oh, I love that idea. Anybody else love that idea? Fantastic. And Tari, I know that you had some questions and you've written a few of them there. Would you like to unmute yourself and ask them here?
And I'm not looking at the chat right now. So Sandra, I'm assuming you're keeping an eye on the chat.
I was, that's why I've asked Tari, would she like to ask her questions in here, because she's asked a few.
Well,
hi, Tara. Tari.
Hi, Helen. How are you?
Hi.
Well, I've got so many friends that are hurting. So many. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on. But the one that I'm really the one that I'm really concerned about is she's kind of my niece. Anyway, she's a vegan. She's about 18. She is also bulimic. And so again, the nutrition she thought she was getting, she wasn't getting. Well, then she had a blockage and she almost died. They went in and cleared the blockage. And then now she just had a lower and upper GI testing on both, because they thought something was probably wrong with the bowels. So she's kind of her mom's a light worker, so she's very advanced, and because she's so advanced, she's kind of lonely because she doesn't relate to the gals her age. Anyway, a lot going on. They got the test results yesterday and the doctors found absolutely nothing and want to send her to psychiatric. So I told, my gal friend, Leslie, you need to get her on the X39. Okay, probably the energy and probably the mood. And let's start helping her now. I have another friend who crushed his ankles. Hang
on, Tari, let's address that one first.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do one at a time, because these
so
are...
So I can actually, Tari, I can feel it. And I know that, not knowing you, I know that your heart just wants to elevate and help here. Ask me a direct question.
Yeah.
How can I help someone who has the issues of
that you just
not getting the nutrition in her system, and is at her wit's end, and so is her mother.
And how old is she?
She's 18.
Okay, that's what you had said. She's young. All right, so grab a pen. And again, this is being recorded, but first thing that comes to mind is we want to do a couple of things. How many of you believe in intuitive patching? And give yourself some grace to learn a little bit more about the patching. And as the patch benefits, thank God, there's only, there's not that many patches, but as you learn some of the basic principles and benefits of each patch, give yourself grace and time to learn that. Patch school is helpful for those basics. But again, if you haven't been to patch school, this will really, really help. So X39training.com, patch school, look under product knowledge training. And I did a year ago, this month, I just did about a 30-minute segment on each patch and the basic benefits that are really important. And this will help you all. Then you can lean into much more intuitive patching. So for Tari, for what you're describing, I would say carnosine. Why? Because her body's been depleted of some really powerful nutrients and nutrition, and her organs are probably compromised in ever so slight, right? But she's healthy, she's young, but so I would say carnosine. A lot of people don't realize carnosine is the precursor to X39, and it can help a lot of, where a younger person in general, under 25, unless there's a radical injury, doesn't need X39. Mm-hmm. Okay, a younger person under age 25 doesn't need to be using X30, I'm repeating that, doesn't need to be using X39 every day unless there is an injury, because they're already making young healthy stem cells. We stop producing our own stem cells dramatically, like 60% by the time we turn 25. So if I'm channeling David right now, and I know he would, after listening to that question, he would say carnosine. It will help with restoring, and will help to improve organ function, every organ in the body, from mind, heart, liver, kidney, within 30 days with just wearing one carnosine patch a day. I would recommend during the day so she can hydrate. Also, carnosine is a powerful nutrient that is already found in the human body. Remember, the carnosine patch doesn't contain carnosine. It's been engineered with a specific frequency. Then when worn on one of the recommended acupoints in the booklet, it signals to our body to increase our own incredible nutrient, antioxidant. It's a powerful antioxidant nutrient that the body already makes. And so after 30 days, Tari, of her wearing this, you can know from the inside out, it's really helping. So that's from the inside out. The other thing I would recommend is an Eon patch, because we know that is our broad spectrum, anti-anxiety, anti-stress. It really brings the body back to homeostasis quite beautifully. It's a, you know, and that's where the body's at balance. And I want to, because if we go into extreme patching protocols, nobody will do it. It's going to, they're going to perceive it as, not, I shouldn't say nobody, very few people will actually lean into, you know, tons of patching. But I really believe carnosine, maybe on that sternum during the day, Ian on the back of the neck during the day. And I would I just posted this in the Facebook groups, that in addition to the EM in the back of the neck, or even behind the right ear, you can switch between the back of the neck or the right ear, because that's a powerful brain balancing acupoint. You can, if she's willing, you can use the, this is called the sacred gate area, the heart percadium. It's a heart meridian, and you could encourage a set of energy patches, even just for 10 days. It just, that is like, it's almost like this beautiful vortex that's happening. She's got the carnosine, she's got the Eon, and then at the heart meridian points. And that is found, if you trace the pinky right down to the edge of the wrist there, where the wrist creases, place a white energy patch, always white on right, on the outer, you know, trace the pinky, and the tan on the left. Again during the day, on during the day, off at night. Do that for about 10. Anybody that's needing support with emotional health, emotional balance, anybody that's been under great amount of stress, this is a powerful healing protocol.
And Tari, the other thing is, I heard you say that she doesn't relate to people her age because she's the consciousness that she's been brought up with. And so I would suggest to the mother that you get them both into the Activate Abundance Facebook group so they can take advantage of the free meditations, because we've got people who have been going through really challenging times, and the meditations alone are starting to make a shift. And she'll find a community where she feels like, oh, I'm home, I belong, I'm not really alone. So thank you, Terese. Tari, what's your next question? Your next person?
I have another. How do I support my friend who has given up on the complete medical industry, crushed both his ankles in a motorcycle accident, kind of got addicted to pain pills, and now the doctors won't give him any anymore. He's weaned himself off, but he's miserable, and he's given up completely on everything. As far as, you know, I have no faith in any doctors, the medical industry, and he has no hope, and he doesn't believe in anything anymore.
Well, you can certainly help him with that, because if he's given up on the medical industry, there's one thing that he can do, and you can say, I understand why you have done this. However, I want you to actually open your mind and tap in and just give this a chance, because this is science drug and chemical free. And obviously, if he's in a lot of pain still, I would definitely use IceWave. And for him, because he's had so much, I mean, IceWave at night, but energy during the day, because when I was suffering from mammoth pain, Terese actually patched me up with 2 sets of energy. And so the energy is massive pain relief as well. And if I still have back pain or any pain, I use IceWave at night, energy during the day. And he needs Nirvana. Now, Terese, you can probably correct me if you think that I'm taking her on the wrong track, but I would get him onto the Nirvana system, which is the supplements with the patches. And after 4 weeks, I've actually had friends who have been suicidal. And after 1 to 2 weeks, they felt like their old selves again using Nirvana. And so I would say Nirvana, IceWave and energy. Again, you probably don't want to overload him, but Eon would be a brilliant one, because Eon's like, again, he's got a lot of inflammation in his body. I can feel that. And of course, his age, he's older than 25, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's 62.
Well, he's in desperate need of X39. I don't know if you want to just choose 3. If we were to choose 3 only for him to start with, which ones do you think, Terese?
How many of you would like to know a real insiders? I shared this on the Nirvana Patch School, but this is the perfect time to let this group know for this question. First of all, we want to bring people, we want to take people from a hopeless place to a hope, to hope again. So without a doubt, what I'm feeling here, and because what I'm about to share with you about Nirvana, not only does, so yes, Nirvana, I would do Nirvana, X39, and Eon. And make sure to look at Nirvana Patch School, but I'm going to tell you straight up right now that yes, Nirvana was created, and it's the only resource in the world that will naturally elevate all 6 happiness endorphins. It's the only resource, and it's a system, and it consists of a nutraceutical supplement. There's only 4 ingredients, including a really powerful seaweed extract, but it's all food. It's a nutraceutical, and it's the nutraceutical tablets that you would want to take. Be very clear. Every one of us could use Nirvana and have a better mood and perspective. Even we look at goals differently, but I'm going to stay on point. You take 2 tablets during the morning, that's it, and you wear that Nirvana patch at night. Okay, now, yes, the clinicals reveal that after 3 weeks of using the Nirvana system, in as early as 3 weeks, activation of all 6 happiness endorphins. But did you also know that with elevated endorphins actually have more pain relief properties than morphine? How much more? About 33% more ability to reduce chronic or acute pain in the body, especially the big stuff that where normally morphine is prescribed. And there's no addictive anything attached to the Nirvana system, unlike the opioids.
So Terese, does that mean that Nirvana could be like IceWave and energy? You can use them for pain instead of, or would you suggest in somebody in such a critical condition that having some IceWave or energy on the bottom of his feet?
Oh, without a doubt. But I'm just saying, as a really powerful, as a very powerful triage.
Yes.
Right. Anything more than 3, people tend to just like, they'll get Google eyes. They'll just kind of like, blaze over, because it's going to, unless they're, and, think about where we were in the beginning. We're like, we're just trying to understand the technology, and all of a sudden somebody's like, you need this patch, this patch, this patch. And a confused mind wants to just turn and do nothing. But if we can come in and just as patch consultants, as phototherapy consultants, and we listen to what you ask people, if I could help you with one or two significant things right now, what would you like to address? And let's address that. And we keep it in a simple triage, and which means 3 or less patches. So Nirvana, and Nirvana is it's gonna take a little bit longer to work in the body, but then we're talking about healing. And the energy, the X39 and Eon combination is very, very powerful for pain, which you could do. So you don't have to bring in LifeWave or Eon, especially because not everybody needs Nirvana. I mean, we do, but you don't have to go with that right away. So what you could do is, again, the Nirvana system, the tablets in the morning, the patch at night. So why not during the day with the tablets, an Eon patch at the back of the neck, an Eon patch, you can do a double patching, an Eon patch below the belly button. So really work with this governing vessel, and 2 X39 on the bottom of the feet at that kidney 1 point, especially where the pain is. So that's just something to consider.
Wow, amazing. Aren't we happy that we've got our special VIP guest here today? Yeah. Tari, do you have one more question before we go on to someone else?
One more, and thank you for your time. A gal who just, how can I support my gal who just fell and possibly tore ligaments in her ankle? She doesn't know until she has the MRI, but she's in a lot of pain. And so how can I support her?
Well, you know what? Nobody knew this, but Sandra did. Last week, Tuesday, I had a bad fall. And so we did our big Monday night Zoom. And then the next morning, I actually had a couple of client calls, and I was seated in one spot. And normally I move around and I'm talking. Importance of moving. And I was seated in one spot, and I had my legs crossed. And I'm sharing this for a reason. I had my legs crossed to the point where when I stood up, my foot was numb. Anybody relate to that? Where you had it was, and then I proceeded to take a step, and my right foot went club, and I went down hard. How hard? I heard this massive pop. So it was not a sprain at that point. I rolled my ankle. Well, you can almost imagine I crawled to the chair, and I was home alone. So I crawled to the chair but here's what I did is that before I started crawling, this is so bizarre because this is a habit. I reached behind my neck and I grabbed that X39 patch that was on the back of my neck, and I placed it right on that ankle, crawled to the chair, got myself in the chair, kind of assessed that, okay, this just happened. And then I just took every patch that I had on me at that point, surrounded my ankle. And I ended up having urgent care, got the images and everything. But I have to tell you that I was told this would probably take about 3 to 6 weeks of healing. Now, I was a really good patient because I did not want to have future injuries. So for 3 days after that, while Sandra and I were on the phone making things happen, and so we're talking last week, the week she became an executive, my foot was resting and I was patching. And so here's another little secret. Look at my earrings. Tan on my left earlobe, white on my right earlobe. So the earlobes, I am not an acupuncturist or a specialist, but this is a set of, it can be either energy or ice wave, whatever you have on hand. They're virtually the same patch. They're virtually the same patch. They're both designed for more of a rapid result if pain is in the body, okay? But I surrounded that injury with, you can find this protocol, Tara, you can find this protocol in the ligament on X39 website, on our training website under advanced protocols. Look for something called the Circle of Dragon.
I saw it.
Surround, you can actually surround that injury, and you only have to do it for a couple days until it really reduces the inflammation. But this was such an injury, like a ligament or anything like that. It's such an injury that you need to give it some time. And so as I was becoming more mobile in like record time, I was still feeling like, oh, this is still kind of, it was helping the healing, but I just wanted to have I wanted my pain down to about a 1. If I had to have pain, I wanted a 1. Pain is actually important because it indicates, you don't overdo it then, right? You don't cause greater injury. But there is, I learned this from Dr. Karen Kahn and David, that when nothing else seems to work, try patching the person's earlobes.
Well, that's exciting news because I've never heard that before. Don't you all love learning new things? Yeah. The other thing, Tari, is our son just had an ACL operation on his knee, and he's off crutches really quickly. The swelling went down so fast, the doctors could not believe it. And the moment he came out of surgery, he was wearing X39 and energy and ice wave for pain. And he didn't care how many patches he had to use. He just put them everywhere, and because he's been using them for a while. And he's just had the most incredible rapid healing. But he was using ice and heat as well, which is probably a great thing. Just tap in intuitively and ask that icing down for 10 minutes, then having heat for 10, giving it a break, and doing ice and heat is always really good to support the body that way.
For sure. I definitely did elevation along with, right. You can't just, the patches are incredible. It's light therapy. It's certainly activating our body's own healing intelligence, but elevation, ice, heat, of course, and sleep and hydration. And
Exactly.
Also check to make sure this person's got some increase of zinc and magnesium. Exactly.
All right. Tari, that's great. We're expecting you to have these people signed up and wearing these patches ASAP, darling.
It's the best price.
Thank you.
For clients. Absolutely.
Thank you, ladies. Love you.
Love you too. Anybody else got a question?
I have a quick one. I do a lot of internet marketing, and I'm wondering, is somebody doing Facebook marketing, Facebook ads, and can I learn from them?
All right, Chris, the answer is yes and yes. There is I'm sure you're very aware that Facebook is being rather, they're policing ads right now. So you can't do a Facebook ad under LifeWave. You can't do that. They'll shut you down. They'll block you, as you know. Any company like that, so you have to be a little bit more, I would consider go after, look at what's, we lead with the problems people are having in the world. We lead with a problem. We know that we need to lead, and any of us can do this, but we lead with, and did you know that more people will see your post if you lead with a question, which is why I started changing my post. And you can turn any post into a question by starting with, did you know? Were you aware? How many of you knew this, right? Look at just what I just posted earlier today on my own page. And I know a lot of you take my post and copy it, make it your own. You've got my blessings on that. But Chris, I would say to you, the answer is Facebook marketing is real. It's happening. It's why the Malaysians and the Japanese and the Asians are out there making radical things, because they don't have the same kind of governing that we do in social media marketing. I mean, it's a free-for-all. I mean, you should see the pictures they put out there. It's like gross, you know, and it's wonderful that they can do that, but they will put like the worst injuries out there. And I'm like, whoa. And they can do that because they don't have the compliance that we do here in the States. But with that being said, you've got the ability to reach, and so you definitely can only do this from, as you know, it's got to be a Facebook. You can't do it from a Facebook group. It has to be from a Facebook page, which is like a little mini website, a Facebook page. And there is several, I would say, look at senior presidential, and don't do this. And I would say for Chris is ready. Chris is an experienced marketer. This is not what all of us should tap into quite yet. We all have a very warm market yet. I know that you have not explored your warm market yet. So, but Chris, to your point, look at senior presidential Ron Ledford. Ron Ledford, Google him. He's got a website. He's based out of North Carolina. And kind of follow him, look at what he's been doing, and just see if that doesn't kind of tap into something you could explore. But you can also just, you know, in the confines of you creating a Facebook, you got a big goal, sir. I saw your goal. And expanding the reach is really powerful. But so set up a Facebook group, a Facebook page where you can now create a Facebook ad. There's beautiful images you can use, right? You can go to any of the Facebook groups that I have, and you can tap on any image, right? Click it and save it for all of you. You can save any image and then you can use it. And, but think at the level, using the image, but make sure not to use the company name. And because if the Facebook is going to shut down any business, I mean, a lot of businesses, but they're really policing direct sales network marketing, because a lot of these companies, you know, these unknowing people are out there making false claims.
So Terese, can I just add something to this?
Of course.
I'd also introduce you, Chris, to Janice, who does my Facebook marketing, and she's been studying it forever. And so if you want help with that, just get to her. And the other brilliant person, of course, is Mari Smith. And you know Mari incredibly well.
Yeah.
She would really help you with this as well. Okay, that was great.
I love that. I love that fact that you got those two resources. So take the three, the presidential, the senior presidential, to kind of see what he's doing. But I agree, Mari Smith and Janice would be a great resource.
Great.
All right.
Yeah, I'm talking with Christopher, with Mari's partner, and
perfect.
And this will be input for him, but he's been very, very successful.
Beautiful.
Right. Well, we want to see what he's doing, darling. We're excited. And just one last question before we finish off our power hour. Anybody else got anything?
If we only had 5 minutes to talk left, what would you most want to know? How could I most support you? How could we most support you?
Yes, Liliana.
I have a business question. How can I sign in each leg that I could not find in the website?
Beautiful. Everybody needs to know that I have a 9-minute training video that teaches, I take you right into the back office. You're going to find this on x39training.com, which is our team website, x39training.com. Go to the square or the area, the segment that reads business basics. And When you click on business basics, there's something called business training, and then back office basics. You will see my face. You will see that the title literally is How to Rank Advance and Change Your Leg Settings. And it's 9 minutes. I have a 9-minute one and I have a 20-minute one for if you want a little bit more of an expanded education. And it's so important that everybody knows that before you enroll somebody, you want to go into your own back office, which means you log into your own back office, and up in the right-hand corner, there's a little word or a little area called settings. You click on that, and then you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and that's when you get to tell the system in advance, Liliana, do you want this person on your right leg or your left leg? Also, little FYI, in the event someone goes on a leg that you don't want it to go on, maybe you forgot to change the settings, you have 5 business days to contact the company, call them, and let them know you need to have someone changed from one leg to the other. But go back under X39 training and watch the 9-minute video called How to Change Your Leg Settings. Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
All right, I want to thank Terese and everybody else who has been here this morning. And this will be something that you guys can share once it comes up, because there's really great questions here. I had the idea that I'll get Janice to transcribe this session, so you actually get the answers in written form as well, and we'll get that up for you too. Terese, thank you so much for being with us. I know that we could actually keep going all day with questions. It's so much fun, but we've got 3 more Q&A with the 2 of us. So have a think about your questions. Bring them to this meeting, because you're not only doing good things for you, but you're doing good things for all of the people in your downline who are going to watch this, right? So Chris, I mean, imagine you might want to share this with your downline, you might want to whatever. I mean, anything that we can share with people so they can hear that level of expertise and they can hear what these patches are about. What I love about Terese when she answers the questions is she actually goes into detail about each patch too, which is really informative and really rewarding. Would you all agree? Yeah. So thank you again. We love you, and we will get this recording into Patch Me Up Babe as soon as we can. Terese.
Sandra, could we quickly just mention what's happening Monday night? Because today's Friday. Yes. So why don't you go ahead and just mention?
Well, let's talk about all the excitement, because tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. I'll be doing the second quantum correction call. So please, please, please share that call with everyone you know, because tomorrow in the month of more is like getting us on the energy of more. It's going to be about money and wealth. So the first one last Saturday was health. This one's wealth and money. And this is going to be really important. I'll be tapping into everybody in the group and tapping into what the unconscious programs are that would stop us from really feeling truly confident about growing our business and having money come to us. And we've also got a special treat for you as well. And then Monday night, I've been invited by our team, brilliant woman here, to come on and help host and be with Terese Monday night for an introduction to LifeWave. So it's super basics. It's really important, isn't it, Terese? Do you want to just describe what that is?
Well, really what Monday night is, it's for all of you. It's for all of you to tap into and take advantage of. Last time we almost had 200 people on it. And it's an online guest event. It's not just Sandra and I talking basics. It is an online guest event that we're bringing to you, and there is a landing page. There's an official invitation link for this. Share it over the weekend. If you rally and invite people to this via email, via text message, there's an official image that goes with it in both the Facebook groups. Download, you know how to, if you download it from your PC, or your laptop, now you can share it in emails. If you download it from your phone, now you can send it in a text message. But what Monday night is, 6 p.m. Pacific, is an online guest event where you get to invite every single person you want so they can learn a little bit more and get a nice introduction and overview to LifeWave, the products, the science, the opportunity. Sandra will host. Then I will come on and do a presentation. You're going to see, I'm going to vary it a little bit from what I did in April, that I just know that there was just a little bit of a better flow that I'm going to bring to this one. It's wonderful. And this is designed for you to invite prospects to, new team members to. So it's really designed to help you grow your team and get education at the same time. So that is happening Monday night. Take the next 3 days as you're tapping into this abundance of more to invite everyone. And there's nothing pushy about it. It's information and it's designed for a general audience.
Yeah, so Tari, I don't know if you can get any of your beautiful, beautiful friends who are suffering, but it would be a great call for them to come on too, because we will be talking about the high frequency aspect of the patches as well. Everybody, we love you, and we're looking forward to being with you tomorrow morning and Monday night with all of your friends, those you know and love who need help and support right now. God bless.
Bye, everyone.